It's difficult for me to not be wildly, unreasonably romantic when it comes to Louisiana and New Orleans. I think of that area as a place where you lose something to find something. You think of Cajun cuisine and how its origins are in the French Canadians, the Canadian Acadians, I think it's Arcadian. The French had to escape or were forced out, and they came to Louisiana, and their cuisine is a survival cuisine. It's the food of the land, which is very unique. Wild hogs not so unique, but the crawfish and the swamp food, I guess. Maybe I'm not calling it properly. I'm not saying it in a sophisticated way, but alligator, snake, and then the Creole food. Now that comes from the fact that Louisiana changed hands a few times between the French and the Spanish, and the Spanish called all elites, I think Spanish aristocrats, Creoles, but then the slaves also took the name, if they came from, or if they had they took the name of their slave masters and also called themselves Creole. So the Creole cuisine is connected to aristocracy and wealth, so it is also considered to be more sophisticated. But there's still something in the bringing of a rich history past and coming to Louisiana and giving part of yourself to receive something from Louisiana. So the cuisine, the Cajun and Creole cuisine, are a blend of Native American, French, Spanish, German, English, African, and Italian cuisines. Creole began in New Orleans. It's also called city food. This was an interesting experience. It's interesting how every cuisine, every day that I'm cooking, there seems to also be an emotional connection to the food. So what's interesting is my emotional connection to exploring this food is kind of obvious because I've told the story of why I'm at the school or how I got into culinary arts, which has to do with my beloved friend Zen and his disappearance and me following him down the rabbit hole and then finding myself in Louisiana, losing my connection or perceiving a loss of connection with Zen and finding the live oaks and the dreamlike state of New Orleans. And really becoming passionate, like there's this slow burning fire getting hotter and hotter, I've been there twice in less than a year, and whenever I think about Louisiana, I feel like a gentle tugging and a yearning to be to be there. My dear friend was a vegan, but he used to fantasize about when I would come and visit. And one of his great fantasies was that we would go to Cafe du Monde, and eat beignets. And he told me I was going to get it all over my face and hands. And he was just laughing and enjoying the idea of it. I didn't really, and it was actually, the idea of it was kind of annoying to me. I was like, why would I think it's fun to be covered in powdered sugar? Like, I intentionally don't eat powdered donuts that I love, powdered jelly-filled donuts that I love, because I don't want powdered sugar all over me. I thought it's unlikely that I would enjoy being covered in powdered sugar at a cafe known as the Cafe of the World. But I did end up going, and the beignet that I ordered along with my cafe au lait, the beignet was the fried dough and the freshly sprinkled powdered sugar was so luxurious that, the mess that you make on yourself is like, it's a look of pride. It's something to be proud of. It's like I'm getting fat on these beignets, and you can watch me. So I really wanted to, when I found out that Alexandria and I were assigned beignets, I really wanted to do well. Alexandria had the great idea to follow after or model Disney's Princess and the Frog, and sprinkle honey on the beignets, and then, drizzle honey on the beignets and then sprinkle powdered sugar. And I was charged with the task of frying them. What was interesting was, not letting them be too puffy. That was the concern, and making sure that they would fry, completely cook in the middle, and also making sure that they were airy. And I thought that they were a little dense. I would have liked, having had beignets, I would have liked more air pockets and more lightness. And I think that means that my dough is a little tight. And I have to kind of think about, one thing that comes to mind is that it was maybe a little over wet. And the other thing is then also the flour. I don't know. I think the recipe called for all-purpose flour, but I'm wondering now, what I really should have been using. Some other dishes our class prepared were blackened redfish, crawfish etouffee with rice, dirty rice. We made pecan pralines with our French Quarter beignets. Some of our classmates made fried oyster po' boys. Couple made frog legs pinkett. I'm not sure. Chicken and andouille sausage gumbo. Andouille sausage gumbo. Mardi Gras king cake. And again, the most delicious beignets.